up again. So I'm Linda King, and I am a program manager in the Salesforce Global Operations team, and I run our knowledge program here at Salesforce. So what we want to do is, first of all, welcome everyone. Some of you may be new to the session. The purpose of this session is to allow our customers to connect with, what we're doing here at Salesforce from a product perspective, what we're doing from a process perspective. And then we bring in guest speakers. They can be either customers, showing us one of their use cases that they're proud of, or it can be industry experts. So we're excited today that we've got Phil Vergas, who is an industry expert related to knowledge, and he'll be discussing a new program that his group is working on. So let's get started. So the first thing we wanted to talk about, and some of you may have already seen the announcement, but Salesforce over the weekend basically kind of reincarnated our community. And what you can see this picture is some of us, and I know I've heard from you in conversations at Dreamforce, that the fact that we had a lot of repositories, but it was a little bit challenging. So picture of the fact that we've listened to feedback from our customers to validate the community experience. So what I'm going to do is basically walk through how we've brought in our help and training groups, answers, idea exchange, and app exchange, basically all into one platform. And we're live now with the new feature that Salesforce released in summer 13 called Salesforce Communities. So we're using, chatter communities. You that have been involved with Dreamforce, you know that in Dreamforce we have a lot of chatter groups, and customers are able to initiate their own chatter groups and start collaborating amongst themselves. And so from a feature perspective, we believe that that is a huge step forward. Number one, for our customers to be able to collaborate. Two, I'm going to review some of the search techniques that we're using, which will also allow you to leverage the content, within the repository. So let's just take a quick peek at this, and then I'm going to do a quick demo. See the new look and feel, and up on the upper right-hand corner, if you guys can see the small search box, I searched for password reset. And what you can see now is you're getting the results from our answers community. So you're getting 3 results from answers. And if you want to look at more, there happens to be 342 other posts related to that topic. You're seeing our top 3 results from documentation. You're seeing our top 3 results from our article database. And we're also bringing in our new known issues at this point. And this is the first time where we have a federated search that's bringing in the content from all those repositories. Also wanted to just highlight from a profile perspective, you log on using your production org sign-on. So again, from a single sign-on perspective, it's very convenient. It also gives you, metrics just about your posts, and so other people can just, get a sense of who you are. Also, it gives you a place to put information about you and your contact information. And then it gives you the chatter feed of the activities that that person has been involved with out in the community. So again, it gives you a good picture of, kind of who people are. We've also made sure that it's much more friendly from a mobile device perspective. And one of the things we wanted to share with the group is we will be moving, our LinkedIn group, over to the community, here, in the next month or so. Obviously, we'll keep both communities live until we get everybody migrated, but we feel that there's a much more collaborative feel by using the Salesforce community. So let's just go take a quick demo. And can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thanks. Just wanted to check. Okay, so what you can see is we haven't changed really the top line here. We've got answers, help and training, collaboration, ideas, and then if you click on more, you can see your user groups and known issues. But what we've done is you have the search box up on the top, and then you can search individual objects if you know what you're looking for, or you can search them all. So just for an example, if I do Salesforce for Outlook as a search term, and you can see it's going out to the various sites and aggregating the information. So you can see on Salesforce for Outlook we had 111. We've got 3 records from documentation, and if you want to see more documentation, all you have to do is click View More, and then you'll see the full list of articles in our documentation system. If we go into collaboration and discuss, this is where you're going to go in and look at the groups. And so you can see we have groups now. We've got a release readiness group for our premier customers. We've got a getting started group for our customers, and then we've got a release readiness for our standard customers also. So again, we're organized to start groups, but again, we know that customers will definitely be interested in starting their own groups. And then from a profile perspective, this is an idea of, you can see where people work, how big the company is, what the location is, what editions they're running. You can also manage your cases from this interface, or you can log a new case from this. But we wanted to just spend, a few minutes, doing a quick advertisement on the community. We're very excited about this. You'll hear a lot more from us, and hopefully you'll be able to give us, feedback in our chatter group. So with that, I think we'll wait for questions at the end. Do you think that's good, Francois? Since we got a late start.
Actually, we can take questions if there is. If you have any question, you can use the chat where you can put your questions. Or anyway, we'll take the question when they arrive.
Okay.
So it's really cool new website. I love the design. I love the colors. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's a great foundation. And one of the great parts is that we're actually now using our standard product, whereas before, it was all built on custom code. So I think it'll be very exciting to leverage the new features that we have in communities.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's switch gears then. And we'll turn it over to Phil.
Great, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Linda, are you going to drive the slides?
Sure, or I can make you presenter, which is easier.
Right. You can just make me presenter, I guess. I will switch to...
Okay.
I can do it. It's okay. It's done. Up.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Great. Can you see me? Can you see the screen okay?
Yep, looks good.
Perfect. So thanks everybody for your flexibility. Here in San Francisco, there is a train strike, and people have had to be creative to get to work. And I guess we're following the same spirit today with the hiccups with the meeting, but thanks for hanging in there. My name is Phil Varghese. I'm the CEO of a company called Clever, and I'm going to walk you through a little bit of background on why knowledge sharing is so important, why some continents have actually been overrun because of a lack of knowledge sharing. And then I'm going to walk through quickly Clever itself and what we are so excited about sharing with you today. So in the 15th century, it's interesting that businesses today are run from principles from about 500 years ago. In 1494, a monk and professor, Luca Pacioli, who was a friend of Leonardo da Vinci, published a book where he basically wrote down what the Venetian traders were using to keep track of all the goods they were sending around the world and coming back many years later. And this was published on the Gutenberg Press and was a big hit. And the exciting thing about it is that the principles were so solid, they're still being used. The sad thing about it is they're still being used. For example, Salesforce's stock price or stock value, only 20% of it can be shown by the balance sheet, all the physical goods like computers and PCs and conference rooms and things like that. 80% is intangible, most of it is knowledge. So the bottom line here is that businesses have not caught up with the world of knowledge. In the 16th century, 168 Spanish soldiers arrived in Peru on November 15th, 1532. They were exhausted, completely outnumbered because there were 80,000 very highly trained Inca troops waiting for them. Yet in 24 hours, more than 7,000 Inca troops were slaughtered and the emperor himself was captured. There's a number of reasons for this, but one very plausible reason is because of knowledge sharing. A little over 100 years ago, a group of small, outnumbered Spanish soldiers had arrived in Mexico. And they had met the Aztecs. And interestingly enough, when the Spanish went back, they wrote a few booklets that were very popular that explained why they thought they were able to conquer such a massive army when they were outnumbered. And so when the Spanish arrived on November 15th, 1532, they were using a published knowledge base effectively. And with that, they helped capture a continent. So the time to publish was a little slow, over 100 years, but the result was pretty interesting. Another study from the University of Southern California in the early 2000s showed that 9 out of 10 knowledge workers say they don't have access to lessons learned already by others in the same organization. So the amount of time and money could be in the millions if you only knew what you already know. And that's the tagline for Clever. Now, there's this KCS. So as you know, the latest version of Service Cloud is KCS v5 verified. And that's a pretty big statement because KCS is a methodology that's been around, knowledge-centered support, for almost 20 years. And there's some very productive, dramatic improvements in productivity and time to competency that are case studies. But in order to get this to work, you need people like us, who are fairly expensive, and we are boutique in the sense that there's less than 10 KCS consultants who are certified in the world over 18 years. So that's phenomenal productivity gains, but very few people can actually help you make it happen. So the team itself is a bunch of us who are spread around the world. I'm based in North Carolina. Kajali is our designer based in London. Adam is one of the certified KCS consultants, and he's in New Orleans. Hadassah left NATO headquarters in Belgium, is based in Israel. Bill Stockton led one of the largest KCS implementations in the world at Deutsche Bank, and he left and joined us. And Finula came from Akamai, another early startup which I was part of. So we ourselves have to actually drink our own champagne and do a lot of knowledge sharing because we're all over the world. And we're a team of execs who love sharing knowledge. And what we're trying to do with this is to create a community that's about knowledge sharing for knowledge sharing, to help to give you access to knowledge, expertise, and influence. So at a very high level, what you're seeing is there's 2 parts to what we're offering. The first 2 are absolutely free. There's no registration required. We don't even capture your email address. And I'll walk you through this in just a moment. What it does is it asks you a series of questions in plain English, nothing to do with support, and you will get results that will tell you exactly where you are in terms of your knowledge sharing readiness. And that's something that you can share with your boss or your boss's boss. And again, there is no registration or we don't capture anything from you for that. That's completely free. The second step, which is a big part of what is a subscription, is where you can get customized step-by-step help on what you need to do to get better in your knowledge sharing. And if you need help, you get access to a community. So there's a free part and a subscription part. So what I'm going to do is to step into the demo itself, and this will soon be live on our website, which is getclever.com. So can everybody see the screen now?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Perfect. So this will be the website when it goes live in about 2 weeks. So every company already has knowledge within its walls, but getting to it can be pretty hard. Clever brings clarity to KCS. KCS, as you may know, is an open standard, so it's been around for 18 years, and these are companies like Cisco, Microsoft, Salesforce, other big, large companies that know that they need to improve productivity, retention, and time to competency. One of the critiques of KCS is that it's very rich, very powerful, but it's very tech support centered and very large company centered. So part of what we're doing with Clever is to work with the entire community, including the consortium that owns the IP for it, including Salesforce, a lot of people, and we're making it this much easier. And we're going to give people access to an ongoing community with coaching. And so that's the high level of where we are now. So what I'm going to do now is to scroll down to the Join Us. And this will, the fun part of a live screen. So this is a little small, I realize, but what I'm going to do is to just walk you through that free assessment. So the questions are very, very straightforward in plain English, and they ask you questions around leadership, and they'll ask you questions around technology, and they'll ask you questions around culture. And we've studied a number of assessments. We've got decades of experience ourselves, and we have tested this with a number of people over the last few months to see if the questions make sense or not. So for example, one question would be, we reward people who solve problems in a scalable way rather than people who perform heroics over and over. It turns out that's actually a very high, it's a very important sense to see if your culture values collaboration or if they value break-fix, which is just fighting fires all the time. So these questions are carefully curated and they've been tested. There are a number of optional questions that help you customize your journey better. If you click on submit, which I didn't, and I guess I've got to put in one more question there. So you're seeing a live demo, by the way. You will see the example of the assessment. So in this particular case, based on how I filled out those questions, I get my results back in a reality check. That means in the context of doing the right things, which is really leadership, and doing things right, which is management, I'm actually not that good at either. That's what a reality check means, which means I'm not doing my day-to-day things that well, and I'm just reacting to fires, and I don't have the time to step out and think of big picture. Based on that, again, you can share results, and this will get to you. Again, if you notice, there's no login, no registration required. And you can share the results, and I can go in, and we won't capture that information. So this is based on decades worth of work. So that's all completely free. What I'll do then is if I go into log in, I'm going to log in right now. Again, this is a live site. So if I go in here and I see the assessment, here's an example of an assessment that I pre-filled out where I was actually all talk, where I was doing fairly well in doing the right things, as in I am doing my tactical things fairly well. My day-to-day, I'm following processes, I'm following procedures pretty well, but I'm not doing so well on the doing things right. I'm not stepping back and looking at in KCS terminology, the evolve loop, or I'm not really stepping back and looking at the big picture. right? So that's what this gives you. So what I'm going to do is to walk you through one step of an example. So you ask the question, you answer the questions, it gives you the results. All this is free. If you subscribed, what it'll do is even more. It'll give you a very specific set of things to do next. So for example, it'll tell you how to introduce KCS within your own organization. So here, for example, this says the first step is an introduction to KCS itself. It tells you what you need to do. It might give you an example for a project plan. If you have an idea of what a sample workflow is, I'll click on that. So here's where it'll give you access to what we call an object that's already created, and that will be made available to all subscribers. And again, if you've been to the consortium site, a lot of information, but it's not written in a way that's accessible to you and nothing that's hands-on. So if we step back a second, for those of you who are in the US, an analogy might be with the US government and the tax code. You have access to all the tax documentation online for free from the US government, but really without something like TurboTax, where you answer some questions and get results back in a way that's understandable, it's very difficult for you if you just go to the government site. So same way here, our belief is that within the consortium, there's a rich set of information, but it doesn't tell you specifically what to do. It just gives you broad guidance on you should have a workflow. Here's an example of a specific set of documents that you can use that will tell you what to do. Any questions on that? And then you can click on next steps, and you can sort of, you'll have to complete the steps. So it'll actually take you step by step through. So if you want to know, for example, what good metrics are, you can again click on the link, and it'll give you access to some of the documents that we've already created, and it'll step you through. Here's a kind of why knowledge sharing metrics are important, and how to actually look at knowledge use and knowledge quality, and time to proficiency, effort, and analysis. And we'll have many, many objects like this that we'll create with your help. So if there's no questions, then what I'm going to do is to go to the next piece, which is the community. So stepping back a second, you go through the assessment, you get the results. If you subscribe, you get access to this customized step that's based on how you answered those questions. And you'll have one or more objects, which are presentations, webinars, documents, that are specific answers on what you need to do. So rather than trying to figure out what to do, this gives you basically a cheat sheet that should substantially improve the time, or reduce the time for you to get started on this very, very powerful set of practices. If you need help, there are two ways to do it. One is through the community, and the other is through advisors. So I'm going to click on community now. And if all goes well, it'll log me in live as Jane Smith into the community. So it'll welcome you. So it's a warm, vibrant community, ensuring access to knowledge, expertise, and influence. And we are asking everybody to ask as many questions as you're welcome to share them. So here, if you want to know, for example, what the top 5 metrics are, you can click on that, and it'll show you the short document that you can look at that will help you with metrics. So there's lots of information like this, and if you want more questions or more comments, you can just click on it and ask people for it. So I'm going to hit the back button now and then show another quick example of a series. A series is a set of templates and documents and discussions that we have already created for you that is easy to find. And so this will be things like welcome to the Clever community. If you want a library of different questions, how do you measure knowledge quality? How do you get team training? How do you recognize your team? All this you can get very specific help that we have already seeded for you. And there's plenty more that we'll build with your help. Now, just for a moment, everything looks like it's all Adam who's created the documents, and that's not the case. He migrated it from our beta site. Since February 15th, we have had about 9 different companies and the consortium working with us, and lots of people on the call, like Peter Holt and Linda King, who've been helping us with specific use cases and questions and answers, making sure the questions we're asking for the assessment are right, making sure the initial set of documents are right. And what Adam has done is just migrated it from the other tool into this Clever community. And that's where it all shows up as Adam, but it's been a lot of people helping us. So again, very specific, very tangible, very precise help. And I'm going to go back to the Clever team. The other group that we're building out now over the next 2 weeks are what we're calling Clever Advisors. And Clever Advisors will be Adam and Bill, and we are actually working through with a number of other experts around the world where you can come in, and if you need specific ongoing coaching and help, you can get it. So Clever really is a community, and it's a set of, it's a library to help you with knowledge sharing about knowledge sharing. And it's a way for you to get incredible amount of expertise and help without having to pay very expensive fees or tens of thousands of dollars a month for consultants. So this is all of us helping each other with help. And if you do need extra help, you can go through an advisor and get, you can pay for extra help. So the what you can do is if you go into the public website, which is getclever.com, and you go in and enter in your company username. When we release this, we will let you know. But what we're offering for all of you as early adopters, if you're interested, is for a one-time fee of $100 for the duration of the early adopter program. You can come in and work with us and help us build this out fully. And then when we release it in early September, then we'll have more regular fees, which we can talk about. So that is it from my end. Are there any high-level questions or comments?
So anybody have any question, you can post it on the chat.
And Francois, if you want to take control back, then I will.
Sure.
Yeah.
So basically, Clever is basically to be able to get access to a good advice and a right methodology to take better advantage of Salesforce knowledge, for example, or to implement like some best practice for your customer service, right?
Exactly. It's very difficult to know. See, Salesforce knowledge is very powerful, and what's really impressive to me is that you're KCS V5 verified, which means that you've got everything you need from a tools perspective to take advantage of a very, very rich set of best practices that's used by the very big companies around the world, including Salesforce. But typically it's been out of reach for smaller companies. And what Clever does is to give you access in a way that is powerful and simple and easy for you to access in real time.
Oh, Phil, we have a question from Laura.
Yep.
If they want to access what you just showed right now, how is it, what is the website? Because from the URL that you show, it's like 202. I don't think is a server
right.
that you want people to use.
That's a test. So what I was showing you is a live version of our test server. So if you just go to the getclever.com, GETKLEVER, getclever.com, which is on that on the slide actually. If you go to that on the presentation itself, if you go to the end of it, it'll tell you.
Okay, so if
Demo,
I go here,
getclever.com.
Getclever.com, and so here I will put my email. And
Correct.
so when are you going to release the website that you just show, where people will be able to subscribe and
it will be
like,
within 2 weeks. By July 15th, we plan to have this up and running, but we'll be happy to walk you through and show you through anything you need before then, just because you're part of Salesforce.
I see. So so people will have to wait basically 2 weeks to go on what you just show right now, correct?
To access it, but if they sign up now, we'll promise we'll never spam you, and we can get you access before that.
Okay. So everybody interested, just go to getclever.com and put your email address, and Phil will be really happy to include you in the early adopting program. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we are going to our third party for this meeting, which is basically a presentation of the summer 13 features. So I'm going to show up some small slides just to walk through the features. So you can see the slide well, I guess so. Okay, so you know me, I guess. I'm François Lepito. I'm a product manager, so I'm in charge of the Salesforce Knowledge product at Salesforce.
Hey, Francois, we're not seeing any slides yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're right. Here you go. Up. Now you can?
Yep, thanks.
Perfect. Awesome. Sorry for that. So yeah, I'm in charge of Salesforce Knowledge now since like 4 years, I guess. So I'm going to show you what we develop and what we deliver in Summer 13, and also I will provide you some insight of what we are working on for the Winter 14 release that is coming in October. So since I'm going to show you some roadmap elements, I have to show you the safe harbor statement, the fact that you need to buy on features that we have and not features that we don't have yet in the product. So a lot of features has been developed over the last year on Salesforce Knowledge. So I just put some, as a reminder, on the left side is a feature that we developed over the Winter 13 and the Spring 13 this year. So the Knowledge One pilot, the capability to share articles via public URL. So it's really easy to share an article by email on the portal. Also, with sharing rules for knowledge, the fact that you can very easily segment your knowledge base and give access at very granular level per user. So basically, if you can imagine, for example, like a customer portal where you may have some users and you just want to show article related to the product that they bought, it's now possible since the winter release, sorry, by using permission set and profile. Basically, using permission set or profile, you are going to give them access to one specific data category, and so they will automatically see article attached to this category. So you can imagine to have a product category where inside you will have, for example, an item iPhone, and you will provide this visibility to the iPhone to these users, and every article attached to this iPhone will be visible for them. So it's really an easy way to manage the scale visibility over your articles. Automatic knowledge filtering is a feature that we developed that allows to map case field to data category, so that when I have a case and we are showing the suggested articles, we are going to filter down the list of suggested articles based on this mapping. So if, for example, on the case, you may have a field which is like customer segment or product, you will be automatically be able to map this field to the data category, to the corresponding data category in Salesforce Knowledge. And so in Salesforce Knowledge, when you would show the list of suggested articles, you will not only see like the article that makes sense for this case. And after we build some more features, like platform features, I will said on the article, like merge field on article and be able to report on article type, which is really also something that we try to do. It's really to be able to bring article object at the same level of other objects in Salesforce, supporting the same type of features. So now, what we develop in summer. In summer 13, so the release that has been out since I think 1 or 2 weeks now. Public knowledge for mobile, so I'm going to show this to you. It's an update to the App Exchange package, and now we provide basically an easy way to push your public articles via an iPhone or Android, so via basically an HTML website. Knowledge One beta, I'm also going to show it to you. So this is really I'm very proud of this new page. We completely refactor the article tab, and we call it now Knowledge One tab. And so I will show you like what kind of new capabilities are coming with this new tab. Smart article link, I'm going to show it also to you in detail. Article tracking API, just working on our API to make it more rich. Required field is also something that it's linked to the object, the article object, and really to bring this object at the same level as other. So now you can set a custom field as required in your article type. support 200K articles, so also we work on the performance. And now I know that by default, you can have up to 10,000 articles in your knowledge base. And so with the summer release, if you open a support case, we can go up to 200,000 articles, so which cover now pretty much all the knowledge base of our customers. Also some work around the search. So this is two pilot features that are not documented, but that exist. So basically, we are working to extend the number of synonyms that you can have in your knowledge base. So, and with the summer, we have a pilot to have more than 20,000 synonyms. So this feature will be most probably GA in winter, but also in winter we are going to bring some import-export capabilities of synonyms, because as you know, if you can have 20,000 synonyms, of course, to be able to enter them manually is not really an option. So we are working for the next release about an import-export capabilities. And also, finally, on the search, we also have another pilot where it's basically a different way to query our knowledge base. So today, as you know, we are using OR operator, so meaning that when you are searching for some things, we are searching any of the words that are in your query. And we try, based on the relevancy, of course, to push the first articles. So basically, the first article will have all the words of your query inside. But so we saw some way to improve that. So that's why what we are launching a pilot to test a new way to manage the query. And the new way will be like, if I have less than 4 keywords, I'm going to use AND. And if I have more than 4 keywords, I'm going to use OR. But on top of that, we are going to use some kind of NLP layer to just keep the most relevant keywords. So we are also piloting these features. So if you want to be part of the pilot, you just ping your sales person from Salesforce, and we'll be happy to start a discussion with you to see the conditions for the pilot. So now if I go to the first public knowledge file, so this is really I'm going to show you. So, you know, on AppExchange, we have this PKB2 that allow you to very easily expose your article publicly on your using force.com site, or also using a Facebook application. And now we update this package on AppExchange, and we call it PKB3. And now it includes also a mobile interface, where we also integrate with Live Agent, where we leverage a mobile feature like geolocalization, emoticon, photo upload. So I'm going to show you that. And so this is GA. You can go on AppExchange, you can find the package, deploy the package, and it's a free of charge and supported by Salesforce. Also, so as I mentioned, the required field. So if you go to the article tab, to the setup, so setup, knowledge, article type, for each field now you will see a new checkbox to specify if the field is required or not. And this is for the custom field. Knowledge tracking API, so I spoke about that. So basically, you know, in Salesforce, we have some reporting about the number of views, the number of search that you run, which keyword search has been used to run the search. And this is used when you are using the out-of-the-box product. But we had an issue, which is if you was creating your own pages using Visualforce or using our web service API, we was not tracking this information. So we was not tracking if you was viewing an article, we was not tracking if you are searching, and if you are searching with which keywords. So now we add 2 new verbs in the API that you can use, which is for the view update view stat and for search update tracking. And so basically what it's going to do is when you are going to do your circle or social queries and use this new verb, we are automatically going to track it as a view or the search inside the stored out knowledge report. So now if you build your custom pages, you can track exactly how many views and also what search happened on these pages. And so another feature, the smart article link. So this is about the fact that sometimes inside the content of an article, you want to create a link to another article. So before summer, you had to basically create a link, hard code a link to another article. The problem with that, about hard coding the link, is the fact that the link sometimes is different based on the channel. if you see an article internally or on the community or on the public knowledge base, the link for the article may be different. And also, if you change the URL name of the articles, you are possibly going to block all the hard coding links that you did in other articles. So that's why we decide to build a feature that we call Smart Article, which is basically when you create a link to an article. So here in the screenshot, for example, I create a link to /article/language/type/URL name. When we save this automatically, Salesforce is going to recognize that this is a link to an article, and we are going to store the reference. And so every time after that you are going to display the article, we are going dynamically to generate the right URL. So based on the channel, we are going to generate the right URL. And if the URL name change, we are also automatically going to use the latest one. So you will not anymore have a broken link inside the content of your articles. So now let me switch to a quick demo. So first I'm going to show you the new Knowledge 1 tab, and after I'm going to show you the mobile public knowledge base. So here is one of my production environments. And so what you can see here, I'm logged in Salesforce, and you can see the Knowledge tab. So this Knowledge tab is a replacement of the Article tab. So before you had Article tab where you were searching articles, and you had Article Management tab where you was more like managing the different articles, creating, publishing them, and so on. So what we decide is based on all about KCS and also some remarks that we get from our customers to refactor the page. So as you can see, the style is much more modern. We also work on performance, so the page is much more quick. And so what we want to do here is really to provide a list of assets, not just articles, but really assets that can help your agent or your customers to find the right information to solve the cases. So that's why you can see here that you can search on articles and you can search on SharePoint in one unique pages. So, and this is available in summer. So you search an article, you search on SharePoint, and so we are working to extend this to other external sources like Google Drive, like also provide some generic connectors that you may use with any system. But really the target is to bring any information that can help you to solve cases. So of course, Salesforce knowledge, because it should be like the heart of your knowledge base, but also, you know, some SharePoint repository, some bug tracking system, some things like that that are useful also to have access to. Now, if we drill down on articles, what you can see is from this page, I can search automatically on online draft and draft translation. So here the target also was to merge a little bit the capabilities between article tab and article management tab. So as a user need to search, but also need to create new articles or publish new articles, I don't have need to switch anymore between article tab and article management tab. I can just do everything that I want from this page. So I can search on online article, I can search on draft article. If I'm on draft, I can click on some of them and just publish it directly from this link. So everything available here to push people really to read, consume, but also easily improve the content without switching screen. So this is beta today. So if you want to deploy it or activate it in your organization, actually it's very easy. It's via the profile or permission set. So if I go to profile here, I can show you. So if I go, for example, my sysadmin profile, so there is a new permission on the profile. So if you search knowledge, you will see like an app knowledge tab. So basically, if you activate this checkbox here, all the users who have this profile will get automatically tab instead the article tab. But also you can do it via permission set. So if you want, you can define a permission set that will grant access to this new knowledge tab that you can assign to users. So also it's very easy to deploy to a group of users, validate the value, and after rolling out for everybody. So I just get a question from Laura. Is it possible to search on both online and drafts in one single query? So this is not possible today. We had to restrict the fact that like search cross publishing status for performance reasons. So that's why this is not possible in this page. So now I'm going to switch to the mobile demo. So here I deploy so PKB3 in this organization via the App Exchange package, and so now I can access either via Safari or I just create an app using Safari, but it's very easy to do. And here, so you can see that I can access my public articles via an iPhone format. So this is HTML5, so it's working on iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, whatever mobile phone we have a browser capabilities. So you can see here that we bring the same features as we are bringing, the same features as inside PKB2. So we have feature articles that you can manually push articles to your end users. We also display like the most popular articles. So basically, this is real-time information. So based on what people are viewing, we'll automatically push on the top. You can, of course, click on an article, view an article. So we support like images. You can also, you can since we also support the fact you can embed video. You can just play the video right away from your mobile. So it's really easy, realistic. You can also provide feedback if you like it or not. So it's really easy to get feedback from your customers. So this application is like PKB2, meaning that it's completely unauthenticated experience. So you can run keyword search. You can also access the data category, exactly what you can do on PKB2. But the other nice, interesting features is the fact that you can also contact the support. So if you don't find the right articles, or if you really want to get access to the support, you have the three options at the bottom of the line. And so as an admin, I can decide which one I want to activate. But here you have email, or you have phone, or you have chat. So all the three options have exactly the same flow. And so I'm going through the chat now flow. So here, let's say that I have a memory issue with my laptop. I can put my, here's where we leverage the mobile capabilities, my emoticon. So I'm really pissed off. I really need to put to finish my work. I can also provide my geolocalizations using the mobile capabilities, but also I can upload a picture. So if you have an error message, or if you want to scan the barcode of your product, or anything, you can just upload it from your iPhone. And now I'm going to click Ask. And at this point, before to start the chat sessions, I'm just going to send some articles to the customer to see if there is anything in the knowledge base that exists that can solve this issue. So he may find something or not. And if, let's say, he did not find anything special, he can click Yes to continue the process. And here at this point, I may need to ask, who is this person? So in this scenario, I'm Daft Punk. I need to release my new single that everybody loves. And so as a customer now, I'm going to click on chat. And what's going to happen when I will click chat? So basically, we are going to create a case in the Salesforce website. We are going also to attach the case to this contact and account if they exist already in the knowledge base, in Salesforce, or if they don't exist, we are going to create a new one. So now I'm clicking chat, and so if I switch to Salesforce, so you are going to see that in Salesforce I get a chat query from Daft Punk, so I click accept, and here automatically is going to pop up, of course, the chat from my customers, but it's also going to pop up the contact information and the case that has been created in Salesforce. So if I just provide a little more spaces, that you can see all the already information. So I have access to who is starting a chat session with me, which is Daft Punk. I know what kind of issue we have. I know what kind of emotion he is. I know exactly where he is when he enters a case, and this can be useful if, for example, you want to redirect him to a store where he may be able to fix his issue or his laptop. And also, of course, I can access the image that he just uploaded via attachment. So here I can see that the error message that he just uploaded inside the case. So now, sorry, I will go back and show. So I have the chat, of course. And so the nice thing is, again, as a customer, I will just continue to write via my mobile. So I will do everything from my phone. And so as an agent, I have now all the information to provide the right information to my customers. So here you can see that we have a list of articles where you can easily take snippet and post it to answer customer questions. So now I get my answer, I can finish my single, and I can release my amazing song in the world. So this is PKB2, oh sorry, the new PKB3. So if you want to have access, you just search Salesforce public knowledge base, and you will find the link on App Exchange. My network is really slow, but here we are. So this is available today. You can deploy it in your organization. It's free of charge, and you can very easily provide a mobile access to your customer, to your knowledge base. And of course, also Knowledge One, where you can also enable in your organization today if you want. So before to close the meeting, I have two other slides and take question, of course. Sorry, I have two other slides about what we are working on winter. So we are still working on winter. So there is maybe more feature coming up, but basically Knowledge One is beta today. It will be GA in winter. Also, we are going to enable more field type on the article. So today on the article, you cannot create checkbox, you cannot create URL, you cannot create phone. So this will be possible with the Winter 14. We're also working to enable lookup from article to other objects. We also enable dependent pick list. So between, if you create multiple pick lists, you will be able to create dependency between them. We'll also enable formula field. So as you can see, a lot of things related to bringing article to the right object, to the right level, at the same level as other Salesforce objects. And so you may also have some more features coming, but I cannot disclose them yet. And my final slide. So it's also some tools that we are working on Heroku. So, you know, you have the data loader that is working with the standard object in Salesforce, and we had some gap around that with knowledge because article is kind of, unfortunately, more complex than other objects. So you have the publishing process, you have draft online, you have multiple versions. Also, article is like not just one object, but multiple objects. So we was missing some gaps there. So that's why we built some tools to leverage this API to easily offer you to export article to a CSV file or to import that will support create and update article from also a CSV file. So we are working on this tool on Heroku. We are still working on them. One that already exists is the tools to migrate solution to articles. So basically, you go to KBApps Heroku apps.com, you enter your credential of your org, and if you have solution in one click, we are going to move all your solution into article type, to article object, sorry. So these tools already exist, and so we are working on the one that I explained earlier about import-export. We're also working on one tools to be able to move articles between two different orgs. So if, for example, you create a lot of articles in your sandbox and you want to move them in productions, with these tools on Heroku, you will have an easy way to do that. So now we can go to the Q&A session for whatever part you saw. So either for what show Linda show you, or Phil explain about Clever, or whatever summer feature you saw. So there is some question on the chat. What customization will need to be redone if migrating from PKB2 to PKB3? So unfortunately, with unmanaged package, there is no easy way to migrate from PKB2 to PKB3. So basically, what you will have to do is to remove PKB2 from your org. So maybe back up the customization that you did, deploy PKB3, and deploy the customization on top of it. So why can we make a pick list? Sorry, why can we make a pick list record field in Summer 13? So basically, the problem is in Salesforce with any object, a pick list cannot be a required field. So it's not a limitation on knowledge, but it's limitation cross Salesforce object. And honestly, I don't know the reason, but I guess there is some technical limitation behind it. I'm going to see if I can provide you an answer about that. Is there any plan to improve data about how customers are using KB when visiting our portal? Right now, the data available is not nearly enough. So it's something that we spoke about for a long time, but unfortunately we never attempted to work on, is the fact that if you want to store more information about which customer view which article specifically, or which search they perform. So today we don't provide information at the user level, we provide it at the role level. And so there is some limitation around that. If we want to be able to go further, we need to get access to a database where we can store much more data, because of course if we want to start to track the session, we need to this will generate a lot of information. So that's why we are working to get this new data repository. But in the meantime, my advice is to leverage Google Analytics. You can use Google Analytics, put the Google Analytics tracking inside the pages, and you will be able to track like every document that has been viewed. And so it's I think it's a valid workaround that can provide good value. Are there any plan to allow reporting on the knowledge data categories? So yes, and we are actually working on. So it's a very long work, because I mean it's kind of complex to do, but we start the work. Unfortunately, this will not be available for winter because we had to do too much things. And so I really hope that next year by spring, we'll be able to provide you this kind of capabilities. But it's really we are working on. We crack the code. We know how to do it, and now we are just in executing about to make it available. So sorry, there's a lot of questions. So. Oops, data category. So you said there is an existing tools to migrate from solution to KB. Yes, so if you go to heroku.kb.apps, so KB apps here. So if you go to if you go to kbapps.heroku app, so you have one application that already exists. The other are still in progress. Solution to knowledge. So basically, you will click here. You will just provide your credentials, and you'll have also to install a package inside your org. But basically, when you will click submit, we are going automatically to migrate all your solutions into a new article type. We're also going to migrate the support category to data category. And so you will be able to see after like maybe 10 minutes everything created in your organization. So We have a standard approach where you don't have much option, where we just do all the process automatically, and we also are working on advanced import option where you will have more granularity capabilities. But this is available today, and you can test inside any org. And if you have any issue, you can provide feedback here. We receive the feedback about it. He plan to develop the capability to clone an article. So it's really related to the work that we are doing on the article object to bring it at the same level as other objects. So we are really, we work on it. We have a long list of things to enable. Clone is one of them. So it's on the list. I cannot really tell you when exactly it will be released, but it's really inside the roadmap. Like triggers, like validation rules also. So about the editor, we are working on the editor. I'm really open for any feedback that you have on the editor. So if you want to send me an email, or if you want to post on the LinkedIn user group or the new community group, really like any feedback about the editor, about the pain point that you have, about the specific aspect of it, I'm really welcome, because I mean the editor is a large topic. There is some small things that can be done very quickly. There is much bigger things that will take much more time, but any feedback is really interesting. For the offline knowledge, so any plan for offline knowledge? So basically, mobile is a big interest for Salesforce. We have a team working on the mobile capabilities. So you will see a lot of things coming here. And so as soon as they will develop an offline capabilities, we will make us compatible with these offline capabilities. But so far, so we are waiting for Salesforce to provide offline that we can make article offline available. Is a KB1 eventually going to replace the current knowledge solution? So KB1 is really not another knowledge product. KB1 is just like a new UI on top of knowledge, where we try to merge article and article tab, so that people don't need to switch between two pages. They can have everything available into one unique tab. So I really encourage you to try it in your organization. It's very easy. You just have to check a box, and you will be able to use it. And so we are really putting our effort to make this one very successful. Will there be an availability to make article public by type and or filter or category? So basically, I guess, Carrie, you are meaning that to make an article. I don't really get the question actually. So.
So I think what she's indicating maybe is, like for instance, we at Salesforce have a type called internal procedures. So
yeah.
We would want to default that channel to be internal procedures, and we wouldn't want anybody to be able to check another channel.
Oh, I see. So you can do it by type very easily actually. If you create, for example, a workflow rules, which will say every time I save an article from this type, I'm going to put it internal only, or maybe internal but also external automatically. So like whatever the publisher is doing, the workflows will set the channel field automatically. Reporting and category, yes, something that a lot of people are waiting for it. So that's why really it really took a lot of time to be able to deliver it, but we are really working on it. So the article editor is not ideal due to the fact that the Windows is not full screen. Also, copy paste from MS Word do not work really well. Thank you for your feedback. So that's a very interesting insight. yes, we are going to post the video of this session online. So Muban, is there a roadmap to enable SFDC-related list kind of functioning for knowledge objects? So definitely, I hope, and this is something that we are working for winter, to be able to enable lookup from article to other objects. So basically, you will be able to create an article and link this article, for example, to a product object. You will go to the product object. You will be able to see the link to the article. So that's the first step. And the second step will be for us to develop the lookup from other object to article, and this is also in the short-term roadmap. Any plan to support changing article from one type to another? So this is something that so it's a very common question, and I don't know what to answer to you, to be honest, right now. We have really like a lot of things to build to, like as I mentioned earlier, triggers, clone capabilities, and I definitely think that this will come after we tackle all these other topics. In the meantime, so if you want to provide these capabilities with our API, you can actually develop the feature if you want to. But I'm really looking forward to build also inside the product. Do you have any idea when KB1 will be rolled out? So today it's beta features, which means that it's available for all our customers. And to be able to enable it, you just need to go to the profile or permission set and check the box knowledge one. As soon as you do that, it's going to replace the article tab by the knowledge one tab. And so you can do it very granularly, just for like maybe 2 or 3 users using permission set, or you can do it for everybody using profile, for example. Okay, so no more questions.
So one more slide that we just wanted to remind people of the dates of Dreamforce.
Sure. So let me give you back the control.
Yeah, so we just wanted to encourage everyone. The dates for Dreamforce have moved to November this year. So again, a lot of have planned in September and October, but we've moved the date to November, right before Thanksgiving. And we want to encourage everybody to get registered. You know, as we know, the hotel rooms, you know, are going very fast. And we do hope to have a gathering for the knowledge user group, but we haven't finalized plans for that. So that was our last slide.
Okay. Anything to add, Linda or Phil?
No, I think that's great. I appreciate all the great questions. We can tell that there was a pent-up demand because we had so many questions. So we'll make sure to allow for plenty of time for questions in our next session. That was great.
Cool. Thank you very much, and so speak to you on the forum. Thanks. Bye.